Hi everyone, it's Math with AUB. Let's connect some proposition by the appropriate connectives. By appropriate connectives. Our connectives are and, but, either or, neither nor, implication, if and only if, what is and what not. Let's see and find out. Right? Question number 1. Write each of the following in terms of P, Q and R and logical connectives. And logical connectives. Our part number A reads as, how many part? Today is Monday. Today is Monday. Suppose our P is part number A. Today is Monday. Today is Monday. Today is Monday. And here, the dish did not run away with the spoon. Dish ran away. Our cue is dish ran away with the spoon. Dish ran away with the spoon. We are not taking negative. We are not taking negative. We are taking all the propositions as positive. As positive. Whatever the situation suits, we can apply the negation sign, negative side, negative side. We are taking Q, the dish ran away with the spoon. Dish ran away with the spoon. Dish ran away with the spoon. P, today is Monday. We have assumed that this today is Monday proposition is denoted by P. And Q, dish ran away with the spoon. Dish ran away with the spoon. We have neglected the not. We have taken the propositions, the basic propositions, our atomic propositions, our atomic sentences, our primitive sentences as positive. Now look here, and has been used. And means conjunction. And means conjunction. And means conjunction. Today is Monday means P. And conjunction. Dish did not run away with the spoon. Or Q is dish ran away with the spoon. Dish ran away with the spoon. Here it is negation of this one. Dish did not run. Did not run. Negation of Q. Negation of Q. So we have written down this first two propositions with the help of conjunction. And means conjunction. And means conjunction. Today is Monday. We have assumed that today is Monday. Today is Monday. And we have taken this proposition as positive. Dish ran away with the spoon. Dish ran away with the spoon. And means conjunction. And means conjunction. We have P as positive. P. Today is Monday. P. And Q is dish ran away with the spoon. Dish ran away with the spoon. But here it is mentioned that dish did not run away with the spoon. Dish did not run away with the spoon means negation of Q. Negation of Q. So we have connected the first part A having two propositions. Today is Monday and the dish ran away with dish did not run away with spoon by using logical connective. And moving towards part number B, we have moving towards part number B, it reads as either the grass is wet or today is Monday. Either the grass is wet or today is Monday. Suppose our P is grass is wet. Grass is wet. And our Q is, in case of P, in part number B, our Q is today is Monday. Today is Monday. We have given a statement, either the grass is wet or today is Monday. Today is Monday. There are two parts. Our first position, the grass is wet. The second Today is Monday. Today is Monday. Here the logical connectives are either or. Emphasis on this or. Or means disjunction. Or means disjunction. Or means disjunction. We have assumed that the grass is wet. P. Our proposition P is grass is wet. Q. Today is Monday. Today is Monday. How to connect this? Either the grass is wet or today is Monday. The grass is wet or today is Monday means P or disjunction. Q. Disjunction. Q. Disjunction. Here P, grass is wet. Either grass is wet or today is Monday. Either grass is wet or today is Monday. Grass is wet or today is Monday. That is the way to use disjunction. Disjunction in case of either or only or for choice. Choice or shows disjunction. Or shows disjunction, and we have utilized here or disjunction. P or Q. P or Q. To be on safe side, we have assumed that grass is wet. P is the proposition. Grass is wet. P is the proposition. Grass is wet. And Q is today is Monday. And Q is today is Monday. And Q is today is Monday. There is either or disjunction means P or Q. P or Q. P or Q. Moving towards part number C, we have part number C. Part number C is today is not Monday and the grass is dry. And the grass is dry. Let us assume these proposition as a value. We are taking P as today is Monday. Our P is today is Monday. Today is Monday. Customarily, we are ignoring negation. We are ignoring not. We are taking the proposition as positive. Today is Monday. Today is Monday. Today is Monday. And the grass is dry. Q is the grass is dry. Grass is dry. Here we can write there is and. There is and. There is and. We can write P and Q. Today is not Monday. Not means negation of P. Negation of P and negation of Q. The grass is dry. The grass is dry. The grass is dry. If you link this, if you take the basic proposition, the grass is wet, then RC is going to be in that fashion. P, today is Monday. P, today is Monday. Today is Monday. If we are taking Q as the grass is wet, basically the grass is wet, the grass is wet. We can also join them using and by. Today is Monday. We have today is not Monday. Negation of P and negation of Q. Here the grass is wet. Q is the grass is wet. The grass is wet. In the grass is dry means the grass is not wet. Grass is not wet. Not wet. So we have used both negation here. Not P, not Q, because we have assumed that P today is Monday. We have taken this proposition as positive. Today is Monday, and basic proposition we have taken in that case, the grass is wet, the grass is wet, the grass is wet, the grass is wet, the grass is wet. And here we have today is not Monday, means negation of me, negation of it. Today is not Monday, and the grass is dry, the grass is dry, the grass is dry, the grass is dry means the grass is wet, the grass is wet, the grass is wet. We have taken this basic proposition and we have tried the grass is dry, the grass is dry. Dry means not wet, dry means not wet. So I have written the grass is wet is our basic proposition, but we have to write the grass is dry. But we have to write the grass is dry. The grass is dry. I have written today is Monday, today is not Monday. Not Monday means negation of P. And conjunction and the grass is dry is the basic proposition. The basic proposition is we have taken Q, the grass is wet. The grass is wet. We have to transform that the grass is dry. The grass is dry means the gross is not wet. The gross is dry means the gross is not wet. That's why I have written negative Q, negative Q, negative Q. That is, we have written the both propositions using as negative. Whatever depends how you are assuming their name. Today is Monday, and we have taken in that case the gross is wet. The gross is wet. Not Monday, negation of P. Gross is dry. Dry means not wet, negation of Q. And here, today is Monday, we have taken basic proposition, and here it is, today is not Monday, we have written not P. And we have taken the basic proposition as the gross is dry. The gross is dry. The gross is dry. And in that case, we have written as Q because we have taken the basic proposition as Q. The gross is dry. The gross is dry. It all depends how you are naming them. How you are naming them. Moving towards part number D, we have part number D are two propositions. Read as the dish ran away with the spoon, but the gross is wet. But the gross is wet. But the gross is wet. Now it's up to us how we name them. Suppose P is dish ran away with the spoon. Dish ran away with the spoon. With the spoon. P, dish ran away with the spoon. And second, Q, the gross is wet. The gross is wet. The gross is wet. Here, but also shows conjunction. But also shows conjunction. Look at this. Try to get my point, whatever I want to put across. I have assumed that my basic proposition P is the dish ran away with the spoon. And Q, the gross is wet. The gross is wet. So we can simply use them P and Q. The dish ran away with the spoon, but the gross is wet. Here. But stands for conjunction. Conjunction. Here is another way. Here is another way. If we take our basic proposition as P is dish did not run away with a spoon. If we are writing in that style, it's up to us. It's up to our clarity. P, dish did not run away with the spoon. And we are taking Q as the gross is dry. The gross is dry. The gross is dry. The gross is dry. We have what we have taken? We have taken the basic proposition both as negatives. We have written dish did not run away, and the gross is normally it's wet, and in that case it is not wet. We can write in that case as here dish did not run away with. This is our basic, and we have write dish ran away. Negative of this one, negative of P, but qualifies for and. Here the gross is dry. The gross is dry. We have to write the gross is wet. The gross is wet. We have to write the gross is wet. RQ is the gross is dry. The gross is dry. And we have to write the gross is wet. The gross is wet. The gross is wet is opposite of the dry. The gross is dry. The gross is wet is the opposite of the gross is dry. That's why we take negation of Q. Negation of Q. One way of the writing. In that case, we have taken both the propositions as positive. P, dish ran away with the spoon. Q, the gross is wet. We have taken that is simple. If we would have assumed that dish did not run away with the spoon, that is our basic proposition. And Q, the gross is dry. The gross is dry. Here, dish ran away. Dish ran away. Dish ran away with the spoon. Dish ran away with the spoon. That is opposite of this one. That's why we use negative P and negative Q. But qualify for conjunction. But qualify for conjunction. Moving towards next question, we have. Moving towards next question. Question number 2. Write each of the following statements in terms of P, Q, or and the logical connectives. And the logical connectives. RA reads as. I am awake implies that I work hard. I am awake implies that I work hard. Let me write all these things for you in words. I am awake. I am awake implies I work hard. Work hard. I am writing the keywords for you to give understanding where to use this implication. Implication, single-sided condition. If then, implies. Awake implies work hard. If I am awake, I work. Then if I am awake, implies that I work hard. If I am awake, then I work hard. If I am awake, then I work hard. And we write them in proper proposition. Suppose RP is I am awake. I am awake. And Q, I work hard. I work hard. If I am awake implies that I work hard. I work hard means P implies Q, where P is I am awake. Q, I work hard. I am awake implies that I work hard means if I am awake, then I work hard. If I am awake, then I work hard. Then I work hard. Single side implication. First we have written keywords. Awake implies work hard. Means if I am awake, then I work hard. Assigning them to name, RP is I am awake and Q, I work hard. P, I am awake, Q, I work hard. We have translated them as P implies Q. Or more appropriately, we can write if I am awake, then I work hard. If I am awake, then I work hard is a synonym for this one. Moving towards next propositions, we have number B of the second is I dream of home only if I am awake. I dream of home only if I am awake. Here, B, I dream implies I am awake. I am awake here. I am awake. Suppose it is our P, then it's our Q. It is P implies Q. We are naming them. I dream implies I am awake. I dream only if is the synonyms for implies. In case of logical proofs, don't go here and there. Take only if as synonym of implies. Only if means arrow. Only if means arrow. I dream of home implies I am awake. Or I can write in proper shape. I dream of home. Only if means arrow implies. Only if means implies I am awake. Now it's up to you. Name them. It's all P. Implication remains in Q. P implies Q. Here our implication is I dream of home implies I am awake. We have assumed that our P is I dream of home and Q I am awake. Here sentence part number B it says I dream home only if is a synonym for imply. I can write also this as if I dream of home, then I am awake. Then I am awake. B. If I dream of home, only if I am awake. Only if as a synonym for implies or only if it is our arrow, one-sided arrow, it's our implication. Moving towards part number C, we have part number C is working hard is sufficient for me to be awake. Working hard is sufficient for me to be awake. Sufficient means implies, only if, implies only if sufficient, implies only if sufficient, sufficient only if implies, implies only if sufficient, sufficient only if implies. They are synonyms for each other. So let me write C in words for you. Working hard, working hard implies that, working hard implies that I am awake. I am awake. I am working hard implies I am awake. Working hard implies that I am awake. Suppose working hard is our P. I am working hard. Working hard or P. I am working hard. I am working hard. And Q is I am awake. I am awake. I am awake. Sufficient is synonym for only if, implies. Sufficient only if, implies, implies only if, sufficient. They are synonyms. It means that working hard implies I am awake. P implies Q. P implies Q. We can write our implication P implies Q. Or we can write this as if I am working hard. If I am working hard, then I am awake. We can write this as if I am working hard. If I am working hard. If I am working hard, then I am awake. Then I am awake. Then I am awake. Then I am awake. Implies only if, sufficient. They are synonyms for each other. We can replace them one another. All these three can be written as if I am, then, if I, then, if then, if then, if then. Being awake, working hard is sufficient for me to be awake. Working hard is sufficient for me to be awake means if I am working hard, then I am awake. If I am working hard, then I am awake. Another way of saying this is a typical sufficient. Otherwise, only if sufficient, they cause a lot of problem along with necessary. We are coming to words. What do you mean by the word necessary in implication or in conditional sentences? Working hard is sufficient for me to be awake. Can be written as P implies Q, or if I am working hard implies that I am awake. If I am working hard, then I am awake. If I am working hard, then I am awake. I have written for you this. Moving towards part number D, we have D. Our part number D. Being awake is necessary for me not to dream of home. Necessary. Being awake is necessary. Necessary. Sufficient and necessary, two confusing words in case of logical connective. Logical connective. Sufficient means arrow. Sufficient means arrow. Sufficient is the replacement of only if. Implies if then. Sufficient only if, implies if then. It is necessary in that case. Necessary shows a reverse arrow. Necessary stands for a reverse arrow. Necessary stands for reverse arrow means if I do not dream of home, then I am awake. If I am not dreaming of home, if I am not dreaming of home, if I do not dream of home, then I am awake. Then I am awake. Then converse of this statement. Converse of this statement to be our right connectives in that case. Here, let me write P, being awake. P, being awake. Being awake. And Q, I do not dream. I do not dream of home. I do not dream of home. Look at this. In case of necessary, it is our reverse arrow. It is reverse arrow means Q implies P. Q implies P in that case. If is Q, then P. Q is sufficient for P. Q is sufficient for P. P is sufficient for P. P is necessary for Q. Q is sufficient for P. Q is sufficient for P, or P is necessary for Q. P is necessary for Q. Q is sufficient for P in that case. Q is sufficient for P, or P is necessary for Q. That's the other way of writing this. Other way of writing this means in case of necessary, we have to write the converse of these two statements. Converse of these two statements means if I do not dream of home, then I am awake. Then I am awake. Means do not dream. This is our Q. Q implies P. Q implies P. In case of necessary, introduce arrow in the reverse direction, means we have to write the converse of this statement. This is our if part, that is then part. It is our if part and it is our then part. In case of necessary. In case of necessary, turn the tables. After that, being awake is necessary for me not to dream of home. In case of necessary, it is our reverse arrow. It is our conditional part. It is our then part. If then, reverse the order like converse. Reverse the order like converse means if I do not dream of home implies that I am awake. If I do not dream of home, then I am awake. That is the way of to handle necessary. Necessary means inverse arrow, reverse arrow. However, implies only sufficient. They are synonyms for each other. Necessary stands for a reverse direction. A reverse direction means this is our if part, it is our then. It is our conditional part, that's our consequence. That's our premise, that's our conclusion. Moving towards next question, we have towards question number 3. Write each of the statement in terms of PQR and logical connectives. First one is I am not awake if and only if. If and only if. It's a double way of application. By conditional. A statement where converse is true. If I suppose my P is I am awake, I am taking the positive one. I am awake, and Q, I dream of home. Q, I dream of home. I dream of home. How to write this by conditional? We are about to write I am not awake. I am not awake. If and only if means by conditional. If and only means by conditional. I dream of home. I dream of home. If I dream of home, and we have assumed that our proposition is I am awake. Here it is I am not awake. Now I am not awake means negative P if and only if Q. Negative P if and only if Q. In that case, converse is true. How to read that? If I am not awake, if and only if I dream of home. That's the by condition statement. It is a statement where converse is true. If I write I dream of home, if and only if I am not awake, it's also true. They are equivalent according to proposition point of view or mathematical point of view. By condition is a statement where converse is true. If you replace them, still it is true. If you replace them, it is still true. If you replace them, it is still true. I have assumed that if P is I am awake, Q I dream of home. I dream of. I have taken both propositions basically positive. And here it is, I am not awake. I am not awake. P is I am awake. It is I am not awake. I have introduced negation symbol in front of P because my P is I am awake and it is I am not awake. By conditional is given to us if and only if implies Q, implies double conditional, double implication Q, if and only if IFF, if and only if. Negation P, if and only if, negation Q, it is a statement where converse is also true. Converse is also true. Converse is also true means Q, if and only if negation P. Q, if and only if negation P. I dream of home if and only if I am not awake. I dream of home if and only if I am not awake. It is also equivalent to this. In case of if and only if, the converse is true. The converse is true. Converse is true. Moving towards point number B, we have moving towards point number B. If I dream of home, then I am awake and I work hard. If I dream of home, then I am awake and work hard. I am awake and work hard. Let me write the keywords for this. Dream of home. Dream of home implies that awake and work hard. Awake and work hard. If I dream of home, then implication I am awake and work hard. I have written taking the keywords to give you a good idea. If I dream of home, then I am awake and work hard. If I dream of home, then I am awake and work hard. Let's name them. P is I am awake. I dream of home. Suppose here I dream of home. I dream of home. It's mine P. Q, I am awake. Q, I am awake. And R, I work hard. Suppose we have named them. I dream of home, it's our P. I am awake, it's our Q. I work hard, it's our R. How we can name them? How we can connect them? If P implies Q and R. P implies Q and R. If I dream home, then I am awake and work hard. If I dream of home, P. If I dream of home, then I am awake and work hard. If I dream of home, then I am awake and work hard. That's the implication. Here, P are premises are given consisting of a single condition, while it depends upon two Q and R. Working hard and awake. If I dream of home, then I am awake and work hard. Working hard and awake, it guarantees P. Working hard, awake and working hard guarantees dreaming of home. Or simply, dreaming of home implies that I am awake and work hard according to the given position. If I dream of home, that's our P. If then I am awake, awake means Q and work hard, or conjunction, or P implies Q and R. Moving towards part number C, we have. Our C reads as, I do not work hard only if I am awake and I do not dream of home. I do not work hard only if I am awake and I do not dream of home. Only if means implication. Only if means implication. Part number C. We can write by taking keywords first, then something else. Not work hard. Not work hard implies that. Only if means imply. Only if then. Only if means imply. I am awake. Awake. And. Awake and. Awake and do not dream. Awake and not dream. Awake and not dream. Awake and not dream. Awake and not dream. Let me write in a good fashion. Negation of work hard. Negation of work hard implies that awake and not dream. Awake and negation of dream. Awake and negation of dream. I am writing those keywords to give you a good idea how to connect them, how to insert, how to plug in logical connectives or logical connectives. Here, not work. If I do not work hard, implies that I am awake and do not dream of him. And do not dream of him. Naming them, our P is P. I do not work hard. C. I do not work hard. I work hard. P is I work hard. I am naming them and putting this proposition according to the naming that I am giving them. P. Second, Q. I am awake. I am awake. Part number C. And our R is I dream of home. I dream of home. I dream of home. Look at this. I have taken all positive. If some sentence is negative, I can insert, I can plug in negation symbol. P, I work hard. Q, I am awake. R, I dream of home. We have supposed that. Now manage here. Negation of work hard. I do not work hard. I do not work hard. I do not work hard means negation of P. Negation of P. Only if I am awake. I am awake means Q and conjunction and I do not dream of him. R is I dream of him. I do not dream. I do not. Negation of. That is the logical connective to stand for C. C. If I do not work hard implies that if I do not work hard, then I am awake and do not work hard. Negation of P. If I do not work hard, implies that I am awake and I do not dream of him. I do not dream of him. I do not dream of him. Moving toward point number D, we have moving toward point number D that really says not being awake and dreaming of home is sufficient for me to work hard. Sufficient means employ. Only if employ or sufficient. We have, let me write the keywords. D. Not being awake. Not awake and dream of home implies that work hard, that is not awake and dreaming of home. Not awake and dreaming of home is sufficient, implies that I work hard. Naming them, suppose RP is I am awake. We are basically taking the proposition as positive. I am awake Q, dreaming of home, I dream of home. I dream of home. And R, I work hard. Or I work hard. Here three things involved: being awake or not awake, dreaming of home, and work hard. Awake, dreaming, work hard. Awake, dream, work hard. Awake, dream, work hard. Suppose our P is, if I am awake. P, I am awake proposition. Q, I dream of home. R, I work hard. I work hard. How to connect here? We have not being awake and dreaming of home. Not being awake and dreaming of home. Not being awake. Negation of this one. Not being awake and dreaming of home. Dreaming of home means Q. Implies that I work hard. Implies sufficient for working hard. Implies R. Not being awake and dreaming of home. Not being awake and dreaming of home implies work hard. Implies that I work hard. Implies that I work hard. Implies that I work hard. Not being awake. Here I have written not being awake. Or awake is I am awake means P, not P. And I have written and. Dreaming of home. I have written Q. implies that I work hard. Our work hard is I have written keywords for you. I am not being awake and dreaming of home implies that you work hard. I have written keywords. Next, suppose our P is I am awake. I am taking the basic proposition for the Q. I dream of home. Or I work hard. How to connect it? Not being awake, negation of P, and dreaming of home, Q. Sufficient means implies. Work hard means R. Negation of P and Q implies R. That's my tiny effort to you guys to explain to you how logical connectives connect the simple sentences to deal with such type of proposition. It's all by itself. Next.